Man, Wilder's acting like a sucker right now. Man, I can't even talk good about Wilder right now. He's acting like a sucker.
He's such a nice guy too, and he's just making an idiot out of himself. I don't know. He can't let it go.
Dude, like, you gotta just, like...
I mean, the water thing?
He's accusing
accusing everything,
a two-time
man.
world champion. Like, everyone, I've never met him, but it is, what's the guy?
Mike Breland?
Yeah, Breland. Everybody says he's the nicest guy. And he's accusing him of drugging him,
doing shicey stuff. Yeah, like,
right?
it's like, bro.
They started with the glove. The gloves were legally on.
And then he said there's like an egg weight, and there's like an egg shaped weight because it caused a dent in my head and all that stuff. It's like, bro, if someone had a weight in their glove and they're punching you with the weight, it's gonna hurt his hand. There's a metal object
and not to mention it's gonna make an indent.
Yeah, it's like, so it's gonna show in the glove and it's gonna break his hand. Like, he can't just keep punching somebody with a metal object bouncing back like that.
Corner's in there when they're wrapping the hands.
And they put that there when they put the gloves on. So it's like, bro.
Well, this is the crazy thing about it is, like, Wilder knows the game, right? So he knows what he's saying is bullshit. There's just, he has to, unless
he's delusional. That's all it is.
Delusional because they have to give the gloves in Nevada. They have to mail the gloves. Wrap. The promoter gives them to the commission the week of, the beginning of the week, and they have to be wrapped in their original packaging, untouched. They go there. They open them, they inspect them, then they take them to the weigh-ins. They take two pairs. There's a primary and a backup, and then the fighters at that point, it's the first time they've ever touched the gloves. They put the gloves on, feel okay, I want this one. That's cool. Yeah. All right. Then they take it back, then they put it in the safe at the commission. And on fight night, they take it, and they're never, like, I get it.
They're never at anybody's site.
Maybe 50 years ago, you could tamper with gloves, and there's plenty of stories about tampering with gloves. But nowadays, it's those gloves literally never step away from it. So it'd have to be this major conspiracy. Like, you would have to have the commission in on it. You'd have to have his team, his own. Like, you would have to have Tyson Fury's own team in on it.
Yeah. What would be the point of it? Why would he do that?
Like, and it makes him look so weak. Like, it's making him look so weak. And I wasn't a Deontay Wilder fan at first, but like I've been a Wilder fan. I was a Wilder fan for years. Like, I think for probably 3-4 years. After someone keeps beating people, you can't keep hating on him. I was like, okay, he's doing his thing. Like, yeah, his skills aren't there, but he's still knocking people out. So, but he's just not trying to take his loss like a man. Like,
he's like, my face shouldn't look like this. I was like, yes, it should.
Like, bro, dude.
And then what's his name came in like super heavy. That was his strategy too. Wasn't it? Yeah.
Dude, you're getting punched in the head by a freaking damn near 300-pound man.
Yeah.
Like, maybe even at 300. Who knows if he went up more? I don't know how these heavyweights.
Yeah, he weighed in at 280.
Yeah, so it's like, who knows if he went up more?
Right around there.
So it's like, you're getting punched in the head by a 315-pound person who knows how to punch, like, knows how to fight, and all that stuff. That's probably why. Yeah, and that's probably why.
Well, it's the mentality. Like me, I hate losing more than I like winning.
Sounds about right.
But it would make you delusional? I mean,
yes.
We were just talking about all those hits, man. So maybe all those hits are starting to...
Because he did take some beatings versus Ortiz before he knocked him out. Like, we do forget that. Yeah. Like, in a lot of fights, he was getting punched on a lot.
He takes a lot of punishment to land that one big punch.
Yeah, he's got a little nugget, too. His head's small.
Yeah.
Look at Tyson Fury. He's got a big old watermelon on his head.
Yeah.
He's a big
yeah, he's a big dude. But so that's probably what it is, man. Like, but he's definitely delusional right now. Man, it's messed up because he's dragging this dude's name through the mud, man. Mike Breland should sue him for defamation. But
Mark Breland was an awesome fighter. I loved him.
There would be no discussion of a third fight if he didn't stop the fight.
Man,
because he would have if he wanted to go out on a shield, Tyson would have continued.
He definitely would have. He definitely put him on.
There would be no need for a third.
If the corner didn't stop it, the ref was going to stop it. And then you're already blaming the ref, too, as well as Mike Breland. He's already throwing the ref in there. So it's like, man, dude, you got to just,
give
like...
him another week and they're going to go, shh.
Nah. The fight's months past now. You would think this is like... Oh, this is 2 weeks after.
He's been building.
Oh, I thought you meant he was going to go away. Like,
he had something else.
Yeah, he's been building and building.
No, man.
He's to the point where, like, okay, that's enough. The fight ain't going to happen.
Like... Man, when you really think about, he's made so many. At first, it was like, man, pick an excuse. Like, a lot of times, because there's something wrong with everybody. Like, there's always something wrong with a fighter going to, especially at that level. Like, at this level, there's something wrong with somebody before every fight.
Yeah.
So you don't want to mention it because it sounds like an excuse. Even if it's the truth, it sounds like an excuse. So you just shut up about it. You just be quiet about it.
Yeah.
And then, so with him, he should know this by now. There's always an excuse with something. You've hurt yourself before. Blah, blah. Nobody wants to hear that shit. Like, nobody wants to hear that shit. Nobody cares about that shit.
To me, it's more respectful if you take it like a man and be like,
Yeah.
you know what?
He's a better man that
congratulations
night.
to Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
You know,
That's-
Ready for it or whatever.
That's really the go-to saying. Like, that's really what you got to say. Is like, he was just a better man that night.
Yeah.
Because there's always something wrong with somebody. Like with how they're trying to give Lomachenko his shoulder, and then Teofimo got foot surgery. So they both had something wrong with him. But he was just a better man that night, you know?
Yeah, and I'm the same way. I don't like when they use. Yeah, I mean, everybody steps in there with something wrong with them. I mean, it's a brutal sport.
Yeah.
I don't like when they use it as an excuse. I remember
Because if they won, they'd be like, I did this with this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like,
at the press conference for Pacquiao Mayweather when Manning came out, I mean, his shoulder was legitimately messed up. But I'm like, dude, you lost. You lost the fight. Yes, go get your surgery and fix your shoulder, but don't use that as your excuse.
the only time I'll take it as an excuse, as an injury, as an excuse, if it happened in the middle of the fight and it was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, say you dislocate your shoulder in the fight and you're winning the fight and then you dislocate your shoulder and they had to stop it. Then it's like, okay, he dislocated his shoulder. Then I'll take that. Or like, if you get a head butted and then a big old cut goes on the side of your head and they have to stop the fight because of that, and then it was a close fight or whatever happens, okay, I'll take that. But like a pre-existing injury before the fight that you never talked about before, because you better not talk about it before the fight either. Because now you're already making pre-excuses. Like, so it's like you gotta, if you can't talk about it before the fight, don't talk about it after the fight. Just let it go. Like your team knows, everybody knows. Maybe you can tell your people, like, man, yeah, like I think if this wasn't there, I probably would have done better. But you don't get on camera and just be like, this is wrong with me, and that's why I lost. Like, that's kind of like sucker behavior.
Suck it up, bro.
No, for real.
Well, what's he gonna? I mean, at this point, he's not gonna get the fight. I mean, maybe that's why he's doing it, because he's desperately trying to get it.
Go out and earn it. Go out and beat 3 or 4 good guys, and then come back and say,
like,
let's do this again.
At the same time, like, I still think he'll beat Joshua.
Oh yeah.
I still think he'll beat Joshua.
I think he's
At the same, even though he's acting like a little kid, like a little girl right now, I think he'll beat Joshua. If I was to see,
the thing is, he's ruining that by.
Man, he's ruining his whole image. Like, shut up. Like, and Deontay Wilder's a big, scary dude. So like, probably not too many people that's close to him are gonna be like, hey, bro, shut up. Like, you know what I mean?
I don't know. Maybe he's looking at once Tyson lost, that era of invincibility went away.
Yeah.
That's why he's acting the way, because he's like, I can't be Mike Tyson, where everyone after that I'm afraid of him anymore.
So maybe that's why he's doing that. Like, I wasn't all these people are against me. That's the only reason this happened.
Yeah.
Like, this wouldn't happen if I wasn't like, all right, bro.
Who's left?
Honestly, in the heavyweight division right now, it's like the only fights I want to see are the top 3 guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, Anthony Joshua.
And
I want to see Walter Joshua.
Who's left?
He can fight Andy Ruiz.
Third fight.
That'd be a good fight.
that's a good.
Wilder and Ruiz.
Yeah, that's a good. Like, if they were to
He wants to
fight,
get on the inside, man. He gets on the inside. He's not gonna.
like,
He hits
That's what I'm saying.
yeah, like
Wilder
that's.
can't beat Ruiz because he can't box.
Well, I don't mean because the
I don't know, man.
Wilder can beat anybody because of that pump.
Yeah, Wilder can beat anybody.
Yeah.
Like that's a fight. I'd say since he can't get the rematch, and since Joshua probably not gonna jump to fight him, if he fights Ruiz, Ruiz versus him can challenge one of the 2 champions. Most likely Joshua,
Possibility.
because
I think it's a good fight because Ruiz gets on the inside, and for whatever reason, guys like to stay away from Wilder's punch. But if you're on the inside, he's not going to
Can't
get off.
extend.
no, yeah.
No.
But the
Get
thing.
the end of the punch. That's what I say.
That's gonna be, if that happens, it's gonna be a super entertaining fight because Ruiz gets hits with right hands. He eats right hands. Like, his defense isn't bad, but he, like, in any fight you see him get hit with a lot of right hands. It's like he's there for the right hand, and Wilder got that deadly right hand. So it's like, if Wilder catches him, it's a wrap. If Wilder catches anybody, it's a wrap. To be honest, like,
Oh, the last Ortiz knockout.
man.
Oh my God!
He just
he was
folded
getting
up.
beat. It wasn't even. It didn't even look like he threw full power.
No,
It was
yeah.
like it was a short Short
and he
punch.
killed him.
But his whole body just shook.
Man, that's why I like. Once I stopped going for Wilder to lose, like I think like 3 years ago. Like 3 years ago, I stopped. I was like, I just started being a fan. I was like, man, you got me. Like it's been so relaxing watching him fight. Because if you're against Wilder, you got to be on the edge the whole fight. Like, man, this dude can sleep anybody. So, like, for example, the last the second Ortiz fight, I was watching it with Lionel and the squad and all them, and they hate Wilder. And because, you know, like, I see why, because they like technique, you know, and he don't really have none, and they just hated him. And then, they don't really hate him for real. They just didn't like him. They just can't wait for him to get beat. Ortiz is better than him, so they think Ortiz should beat him, and he's like, Ortiz is gonna beat him this time. So we were watching at my cousin's girlfriend's house. We're all chilling, watching the fight, and I'm going for Wilder. So I'm like, I'm not worried about nothing. I'm just chilling. He's getting beat up for like the first 3-4 rounds, and they're like, see, he's gonna stop him this time. He's gonna beat him this time, and I was like, I'm not worried about it. We'll see. I was like, we'll see what happens. And they're getting hella hype, but anytime Wilder threw a punch, they're like getting hella nervous. They're just going on the emotional roller coaster. And I was just chilling. I was just laughing. And then then Wilder finally caught him, like with that shot, and slapped him and just made him go. just made him have aneurysm or something. I don't know what was going on. And and they're like, no, and I just got him. I started laughing. I was like, that's what I'm like. And I just started talking hella shit. Like immediately, I was like, he's the GOAT. I was like, he's the GOAT. And they making him hella mad, just to antagonise him. It was hella funny. And I was like, this is why you got to be a Wilder fan, man, because you don't care if he I don't care if he gets beat up. I expect him to get beat up, and then he knocks people out. So
the look of frustration on Ortiz's face when he left the ring. He was like, just such disappointment. Because he was winning the fight.
Like, I had that. What happened?
he was winning both of them. So it's just like, God, like, it's like this motherfucker. Like,
It's that one punch. But I mean, if Tyson Fury set the game plan, if anybody does that for him, I mean, obviously Tyson was bigger, but if you pressure him and put him on his back foot, especially because he's got no...
And he waits too long. I'm like, man, his trainer's just like, bro, this dude's best punch is a straight right hand. How you don't know how to throw a lead right hand? He don't know how to throw a lead right hand for nothing. He don't know how to throw nothing. He just knows how to throw the 1-2, slap your left hook, and that's it. It's like, bro, how does he not know how to throw a lead right hand? And this is his best shot. Imagine if he threw a lead right hand. Imagine if Wilder learned how to throw a lead right hand, or threw like some real combinations. If you know how to do some like oh my goodness.
He didn't want to learn, or else he would. I mean, he had Mark Breland.
Yeah, that's true.
Are you kidding me?
They brought Breland in to stabilize the camp, you know, because they needed that experience.
His 1-2 is amazing though. Like if he's going forward and you get that 1-2 off, he's good. But that's all they worked on. They just like they let him be a one-trick pony.
That's all he needed, as we could see.
Yeah.
Roy Jones keeps on offering. He goes, man, I'll bring him into camp. I'll teach him how to use his left hand. He learns how to use his left hand. He's dead. Like, you're not going to hear him. Roy Jones, I mean, come on. If Roy Jones offering you...
Roy Jones, I don't know. Like, Roy Jones, he was such a great fighter. Yeah. It's like a lot of great fighters aren't great coaches because Roy Jones is hella talent. Yeah. He's hella talent and athleticism. So even Roy Jones' technique is like...
But if you ever watch him break down, because, you know...
He's super smart, though.
Yeah, he's like when he's
cool
commentating,
too.
he breaks down fights. So, I mean, even if he's not doing the minutes, if he's just advising and teaching, I think he can get it. I think he would help Wilder
I think so,
out.
too. I think any I don't know. If Wilder wants help, he can get it. He has the money. He has the status. It's just...
I was the same way. I didn't really think much of him. I was like... And then but then I met him, and I was like, dude, like his whole camp, nicest people, like seriously nice guy, very respectful. Like, cause when I was working for Fox, I'd go grab him, and we'd be talking on the way up, and just a super nice guy, super nice guy.
He seems like
all these young men are nice guys. I mean, very rare do you get one that's gonna.
Well, you find some.
But you know what I mean. But by and large, you're there to promote them and you're helping them out. They're always gonna be nice.
Yeah.
Well, Summer, I guess he was humble. He was very humble. Like there wasn't an air of arrogance to him. I didn't sense that at all.
Yeah.
He was just very, just very.
I love this story.
Yeah. No, yeah, man, that's what I'm
and he's got a great story.
These dude, a great story. He seemed like a good dude, like a good-hearted dude. Even no matter what, when he starts stripping or whatever, he seems like a good-hearted dude. Like you can just tell someone's like a good like Broner. I can tell he's a good-hearted dude. He just does dumb stuff, you know, like And Floyd, you can tell he's a good-hearted dude. He's just like real arrogant.
You know, in front of the camera.
Yeah. So like, and you hear stories about these people from people that met him, and they're just like, oh, he's really a cool dude and all that stuff.
Teofimo. I met him in Dallas after he knocked Diego out, and all that week his dad was pumping it up. After the fight, Teofimo came. He was dressed in a maroon suit. Kid looked great, and he asked, "Can I talk to you, sir?" I said, "Yeah, this is part of Diego camp." And
Yeah.
he said, "Hey, I just want to let you know that it was nothing personal. It's all part of the show, and you know, I hope the fighter's all right." And he was just so humble.
Yeah.
I was like, "Wow!" I was blown away. The kid's got class.
That's facts. Like I don't take nothing personal unless you make it personal. Like this is like I'm not the type of person that's gonna be like mugging you before the fight.
Toscano Boxing Promotions presents Best in Boxing.